Hey Dad, today I want to talk about an amendment that feels almost like a philosophical whisper compared to the others. The Ninth Amendment. It's the one that says just because a right isn't written down doesn't mean the people don't have it. That's it. That's the entire text in plain English. No specifics, no examples, just a principle. But one powerful enough to shape everything around it. The founders included the Ninth Amendment because they were genuinely afraid of one thing. If we list some rights, the government will assume those are the only rights people have. So the Ninth Amendment is basically their way of saying, don't get clever. The people have way more rights than we had space to write. And Dad, that matters a lot right now. The founders understood a dangerous mindset in government. When the Constitution was drafted, some leaders argued against a Bill of Rights entirely. Their argument was if we name specific rights, the future governments will treat that as a limit. The Ninth Amendment is the founders' rebuttal. It's their warning label on the Constitution. The list of rights is not exhaustive. The people come first. Their liberties come first. The government's powers come second. It's the amendment that says the government doesn't get to assume authority in the gray areas. But lately, those gray areas are where so much trouble happens. Why the Ninth Amendment matters today across the country during large-scale federal enforcement operations, we're seeing the same troubling pattern. People exercising rights that aren't neatly written down, but that are fundamental to life in a free country. Rights like the right to move freely in public without harassment, the right to record public officials, the right to observe law enforcement without interference, the right to bodily autonomy during stops and searches, the right to be in your own neighborhood without being treated as a suspect, the right to exist without government intimidation, the right to safety when you are not accused of anything. Some of these are grounded in the First, Fourth, Fifth, and Eighth Amendments. Others flow from the Ninth, from the idea that your liberty is bigger than the text. And Dad, this is where the Ninth Amendment feels alarmingly relevant. When federal power expands suddenly and forcefully, the first rights to erode are often the unwritten ones, the everyday expectations that don't appear in bold print, but that define how free a country feels. Where we're seeing the cracks across multiple states during ICE operations, people describe experiences that fall directly into this Ninth Amendment territory. Being followed or questioned simply for filming, being told to leave public spaces with no legal basis, federal agents blocking public sidewalks or recording areas, people feeling unable to walk outside without fear of detention, neighborhoods treated as if residents have fewer liberties than other Americans, civilians shoved aside or threatened while observing arrests from a distance. None of these things appear explicitly in the Constitution. There's no amendment that says people retain the right to stand on a sidewalk and watch government actions without being shoved, pepper sprayed, or detained. But the Ninth Amendment says that just because the right isn't listed doesn't mean it doesn't exist. In fact, that's the whole point. And here's the part that keeps haunting me. After Renee Good and Alex Preddy were killed, local investigators said they were shut out of the scenes, denied access to footage, and blocked from interviewing agents, even though these episodes happened in their own jurisdictions. That raises an unmistakable Ninth Amendment question. Who protects the people's unwritten rights when the federal government blocks all outside oversight? The Constitution assumes transparency. It assumes sunlight. It assumes the people, not agencies, are the ultimate check on power. But when the government walls itself off and treats entire neighborhoods as if the usual rights don't apply, the Ninth Amendment is supposed to kick in. It's supposed to say, no, the people have rights you don't get to erase. Dad, here's what I want to ask you. If the Ninth Amendment says the people retain all the rights not listed, what does it mean when federal actions make people feel like their most basic freedoms, the everyday ones, can be suspended at will. What does it mean when entire communities feel chilled, monitored, or intimidated, even when they've done nothing wrong? The Ninth Amendment was meant to protect the vast space of liberty the founders couldn't fit into the text. And right now, that space feels smaller than it should be.